Happy Labor Day. Um, I'm inspired to do this, give some thoughts on the general election after watching this video by this PR Angmo on this YouTube channel, a Welshman living in Asia. He's made some very wise observations. The main contentions about the dominant incumbent party always playing the victim card, and yet always controlling the rules of the general election, which as a foreigner he finds very bizarre. Say the redrawing of the GRC boundaries just prior to like less than a month before the elections. Yeah, he was I think the after the boundaries were drawn, it was late March, and he as a foreigner was expecting elections to take place in September, which was what I had selected on one of those surveys. When do you think election is? But lo and behold, it is in May. Yeah, it's like, whoa. So he observed that the opposition parties were just scrambling to hold rallies, almost back to back. Yeah, because they do not have prior knowledge, unlike the incumbent party. Okay, so one thing I find very disturbing this time round in this election is seeing the red machinery galvanize themselves on social media, shamelessly posting heaping praise and adoration every time the incumbent party candidate posts something on Facebook, on social media, and then these youths would one after another quickly will say, oh, this candidate is so and so, she has done this, and we must support this person, la di da. Maybe my Facebook has I have a lot of friends, and therefore friends of those who are in their 30s, some 20s. I'm a teacher, but I've not added friends for many years already. Yeah, maybe that explains it. So it's very disturbing. And again, having just read Brave New World, The Giver, and I'm probably venturing to 1984 again while reading 3 other books at the same time. It's very disturbing because according to the foreigner, this is and other foreigners, I think this probably came from other news sources, right? So it's always on my mind anyway. This has the makings of a fascist authoritarian regime. You have your tiny minions always scuttling around, pushing your agenda. It's very, very disturbing. And so I engaged one of them, a former student, and I engaged him very politely, on one issue where, say, you want to, I think it was on Ng Chi Meng apologizing over the NTUC saga, and then he says, oh yeah, this man has apologized, let's move on. Standard line, right? Put forth by the PAP. Oh, let's move on, and their supporters. But when it comes to the opposition, no, this person, his actions reflects his poor character. Do you want this opposition candidate to take care of your needs? Can he even take care of your needs? With such deplorable characters. So I would just say, hey, can we use the same yardstick to judge candidates, all candidates? If we want to say forgive, move on, let's do the same for opposition. Oh, then they get the PAP minions will get very defensive. One after another, they'll come after me. They came after me, and I would just engage issue after issue as politely as I can. And another fella, eventually, and along the way, I did say that, oh look, I'm an educator. I've seen, I've heard, that many more and more teachers are turning blue, and I quoted the line, people are saying that the skies are white and I see blue skies, and I do know that there are many enlightened, woke teachers. I use the word woke very carefully because it simply means being aware of social injustices, and some of us actually do something about them. and they are voting opposition because we want a more pluralistic society, more diverse voices to check the policies and even propose alternatives, and that's what Workers' Party and one or two other legit opposition parties are doing. And that's a good thing. Even according to a foreigner, he finds it very bewildering that former PM Lee would say, "Oh, why do you need 6 opposition voices? Well, 6 times 0 is 0, 10 times 0 is 0. He was like, what? In any democratic society, having opposition voices in the parliament it's just plain common sense. It's part of democracy. Why is the former head of state saying that we don't need more and more opposition voices because they will just disrupt the order scheme of things? And of course, PM Wong is also echoing the same sentiments with his football analogy, la-di-da, recently at the May Day rally. So I have a lot of respect for PM Wong. He is a good man. I respect Mr. Gunn as well. But another point that the foreigner brought up, which was our point of contention, is this: why do you feel important candidate for the incumbent party in wards which the oppositions are fighting very hard for, and there's a chance that you might lose the ward or the GRC, and then you gaslight the residents, the voters, and say, oh, if you don't vote for us, you don't vote for this MP, it's a very crucial MP, you don't vote for this crucial MP, we will it will weaken our politics, and then it will be very tough to govern Singapore. Hey, come on, man. The civil service, the machinery does all the policy work. The MPs are just the speakers, the voice, the loud hailers, And yes, character matters, personality matters, but there will always be backups. There will always be backups in civil service. I know, because I've been there. So the foreigner added that, no, it is not the duty of the voter to vote the important MP in. It is the duty of the MP to prove himself worthy, competent, enough to be voted in. He basically turned the tables around. He reframed the argument of the incumbent, who is always laying guilt on the voters, always playing up the rhetorics of fear, crisis, and telling Singaporeans, vote for us. If not, these are troubled times. Come on, get real. I think people need to be enlightened. People need to be aware that Singapore will not fail. Even if we lose half of the seats to the opposition, Singapore will not crumble overnight. Yes, we will go through a season of reckoning, a season of change, but we are so wealthy. The poor is well taken care of. Our policies for the poor are very sound, at least more so than many, many, many first world nations. Singaporean households are very rich in general. We have 5-figure income, combined income if you are married. Right? Yes, you have kids, but you can afford a domestic helper. You can afford a car. No excuses. So, are we risk adverse? Are we prepared to put up with a little bit of discomfort? Should we see a blue tsunami, a yellow tsunami, a red tsunami from the opposition? And some of us are really praying it will happen. And let's make it happen, because we are living all this materialism, all this talk about money, all this talk about having kids, getting married for the sake of, applying for BTOs for the sake of getting married, for the sake of having kids. It's so wrong. It's so twisted. You should only want to have kids or get married when you want to get married, and not use the BTO as a precondition to get married. It's just ridiculous. I know it's very realistic, but what about sacrifice? What about living with some discomfort? What about being a little risk adverse? Our system needs a shake up, and Chan Chun Sing is doing well in MOE.